Absolutely not. Hey, how's it going, and welcome to Whisky Whims with me, Stuart. Today we've got a Strathclyde 34-year-old. We're continuing the Cadenhead series, the authentic release Summer 2 2023. So this is a 34-year-old Strathclyde, Strathclyde being a grain, and it's number 5 in the series. It looks like it's got some sort of sherry influence, whether that be full maturation or finish, but knowing Cadenheads and knowing the way they are doing things now, it tends to be a finish. So I don't know if you can see the kind of colour there, but we'll do the same as we have been doing with the rest of them. I don't know the price, I don't know the ABV, I know it's cask strength, and I don't know any tasting notes. We've got a tasting card and we'll go through them, but we'll do my way first and do my tasting notes first, and we'll see if it's going to be a Whisky Win or a Whisky Bin. So we'll get right down to it, and we'll start with the nose. There's walnuts there, there's some dark chocolate, some licorice, some molasses, a little bit of cola cubes on the nose, and there's also like something, it smells like a bourbon. I think grains and bourbon can be quite similar in their structure, I feel. I feel like I get a lot of synthetic notes with bourbon, I feel like I get a lot of synthetic kind of chemically notes with grain. But yeah, this reminds me of like I don't know, like just a really dark coloured and kind of, yeah, bourbon. It's not bad on the nose. It is a little strong. I'm not sure if you can see this glass, but it doesn't seem to be the cleanest. I should have. I'm terrible. I should have gave it a better clean. A lot of fingerprints on there. I don't know if that's just from handling it out to here. It's a little creamy, a touch creamy on the nose. But other than that, it is quite hefty on the nose with the ABV. It's quite punchy. We'll see what the palate has to offer. I'm kind of looking forward to this. It feels quite meaty. Yeah, it's alright. There's like it's warming. So I'm going to say like warm gingerbread with butter, or maybe even something like a hot cross cinnamon bun with like raisins through it. This has to be sherry. I've got to say sherry. I mean, the colour of it, the smell, the taste. So yeah, hot cross cinnamon bun with the raisins through it, and maybe some butter. There's, yeah, a little gingery, a little bit of spice like the cinnamon, maybe some cloves there as well. There's quite a weird, that's just thrown me off, there's quite a weird like spearmint or mint leaf or something, but there's something a little minty near the end of this, like going on to the finish, but still on the palate. Yeah, it's quite fresh, quite interesting. There's probably something like shaved wood as well. It's a little woody, quite a lot of, I don't know, cask there, I feel. What else can we say? There's maybe some toffee or fudge there as well, a little bit of sweetness. And I still feel like there's a little bit of a creamy element too, maybe tying in with that butter, or yeah, the butter. The finish is it's medium, predominantly this kind of lingering ginger element throughout, definitely in the finish. There's sherry notes just typical sherry notes in the finish. There's the cola elements making a comeback, making an appearance again. And I think I've said this before when trying to describe this flavour. It's like the syrup of the cola that you get at fast food restaurants, McDonald's, Burger King, KFC, whatever, and they've got those self-serve machines, and the carbonated water, the fizzy water that they're using isn't quite mixing well with the syrup, so you're getting this really kind of strong, overpowering cola flavour, and I feel that's there. It's a little hard to describe, but I hope you know what I mean. Just like a syrupy kind of cola flavour. There's not a lot of, other than maybe the creaminess, it feels like the grain's drowning, drowning in whatever it's been matured in or finished in, which I think is sherry. I'm going to hazard a guess at PX, because I feel like it's quite overpowering. It's overpowering the grain. So, and I know that PX can be quite a powerful sherry. So I'm going to say PX. I could be completely wrong, and I'm willing to take that. So yeah. We'll look at the tasting notes from Cadenhead and the price, which is also going to be a big factor. So like I said, a 34-year-old Strathclyde, what would I expect to pay for a 34-year-old grain? I mean, you could easily go 150. Could you go as high as 200? I'm not sure with a grain. I'd say hazard a guess at 150. I wouldn't necessarily say that's worth £150, but we'll get down to it anyway. So number 5, Strathclyde, 34-year-old. It's 51.1% ABV. It's £170, and it's been in an Oloroso hogshead since March 2022. So what was this? 23 summer, March. That's almost over a year. I'm trying to think when this came out. I think this came out in August. This series. So it's well over a year in the Oloroso. It probably could have done with less time in that cask. It just feels like it's a lot, but yeah, the tasting notes: old-fashioned cocktail, cherry menthol, cherry menthol sweets, dark chocolate. I think I said dark chocolate, and I definitely said menthol, but old-fashioned cocktail. I don't know about cherry menthol. I don't know what cherry menthol sweets are, if I'm going to be honest with you. But old-fashioned cocktail, I can kind of see what they're saying, like the bourbon element. For me, that kind of bourbon element is, and I tend to use bourbon in old-fashioned, but not really. I'm not really getting it there. The taste: cinnamon toast, yeah. So my hot cross cinnamon bun, toffee apples. I think I said toffee or fudge. I definitely didn't get any apples, and it's got here chocolate orange. I'm not sure about orange or apples. I mean, there's maybe a little juiciness of something, but I couldn't pinpoint it as apples or orange. I don't think I got a lot of fruit in the palate. Maybe raisins. Yeah, I'm definitely getting raisins. I can taste raisins now. Just that remnant, like once you've ate a bunch of raisins, the kind of oily leftover mouthfeel you get from raisins. Finish: date syrup, which I could say is linking to my cola thing. Flat cola, yeah, so I'm definitely getting cola in the finish without a doubt. And sweet red apples, absolutely not. I'm getting no apples whatsoever, but that's fine. So we'll get down to the way I rate my whiskey. If you're new here, I rate my whiskey, all my whiskies, on 3 things. Would I buy it again? Would I recommend it? And do I think it's worth it? Would I buy this? I've not bought it, so would I buy it again? Is a kind of mute question. But would I buy it? Nah. £170, way too much for what this is. It's over sherried, I feel, and it's a grain that isn't really showing through, isn't shining through. I'm not the biggest fan of grains as it is, and I'll admit that. I'm trying to get better with grains, but yeah, this just isn't my cup of tea. It feels like I could have got this from, I don't know, it's reminding me of like Eagle Rare, something like that. I could have got it from, yeah, which is, I don't know, £38 or cheaper on Amazon or wherever you can buy it. So it's a little disappointing in that sense. It just feels like a typical bourbon with the flavours that are there. Would I recommend it? It's a tough one. I usually always say I like to recommend like every whiskey, because anybody could enjoy this. It could like any whiskey, but I don't think I'd go as far to say I'd recommend this. Or I wouldn't recommend it to, I was gonna say I wouldn't recommend it to people I like. I wouldn't recommend it to kind of my circle, if that makes sense, because I know what they like. It might be worth, or it might be a better experience for someone else. who actually gets on with grain a lot more than I. But I just think the price and the overall use of the Oloroso, I feel, doesn't really promote this whiskey or hold it up to what it could actually be. So I actually wouldn't recommend it, and do I think it's worth it? Absolutely not. I wouldn't pay £170 for this. I don't know what I'd pay for this. Like I said, I feel like you can get a better or a similar experience from like just an average bourbon. This is what it drinks like to me, and I could be like totally stupid and way off and be saying something that I know nothing about, but that's what it feels like and that's what it drinks like. So unfortunately it's a 0 out of 3, which is very, they're far and few between, but it's a whiskey bin, which aren't few and far between. We've had a few of them. So yeah, that's all I've got to say. Thanks for watching. I've been Stuart, this has been Whisky Whims. I'll see you later.